傲风 M6 旗舰 Pro 按摩桌背小弹腰2.0。3D 云朵枕，空调座舱，6D 激素地。
biu是我运营的产品，我想通过它和更多不懂分寸的人一起探索世界的边界。正是这些不懂分寸的人，也许他们不被理解、任性、固执，甚至疯狂。
就是我。
但如果没人去打破边界，谁又能玩透世界呢？
打开微信，搜索公众号“星际老男孩 SC Boy”。这里有每日的直播预告、重要的赛事报道、精彩的视频剪辑、有趣的主播八卦、定期的抽奖福利以及爆笑的节奏和评论。关注 SC Boy 官方公众号，365天每天更新，让你与20万猛男一起更便捷的享受我和黄哥给大家带来的快乐。不要告诉别人哟。
Hello and welcome to another day of the World Team League. We are very excited to get into some more action as yesterday's games were pretty darn cool. Expecting today to be also pretty darn cool. Gonna dive into Vitality against Berserker and Mystery Gaming AG against Weibo. Definitely two teams that are favored and two teams that are a little bit more of an underdog presence in this series. We'll see how this goes as we get this underway and ready to begin in just a few moments' time. Getting started off with this Vitality versus Berserker series. Hello everyone. Wardy Dad on the 89-month resub as well. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day and is ready to cast. Well, you guys can watch some StarCraft. I'm going to cast some StarCraft too as we get through the Berserker esports roster. 1-5 this season. Berserker are a team that I always feel like have potential. Yeah, I feel like they have potential to do well, cause upsets, push teams to their limits, but obviously this is one where they're going to be the most pressed as Ryong takes on DNS. I think that's a pretty interesting first matchup. Gung Fu against Maru, well, that's pretty rough for Gung Fu. I'm sorry, Gung Fu. I don't know what you could do to make me convinced that you're going to have a chance against Maru. And then solo Battlebee is pretty solo favored, but Battlebee is one of the players that I've enjoyed watching lately as well. Almost always feels as though he's constantly kind of bringing up some more kind of fun stuff, some fun action, all that kind of goodness. So yes, kind of an exciting series. I think a lot of upset potential for like individual maps. Maybe not so much we're expecting this series to go the way of Berserker, but hey, they can put up a fight, take some maps, and maybe we can have a banger of an opening matchup compared to what a lot of people would think this would be, which is a little bit less exciting than that. So yeah, with all that said then, we're gonna get this one ready to go. Kick this off and get this rolling. Ryong versus DNS. I guess they actually a pretty interesting first round matchup. I think Ryong probably some of his better matchup is TVP. So I very excited to see if DNS can then maybe kind of come in, because DNS has always got that potential to kind of upset a little bit, have something to say about a series. So I think this could be a lot of fun. What's up, everyone from the Roddy stream? Hope you guys enjoyed the F1 on Roddy's channel. I was lurking about an hour ago, so hope you guys had fun. Welcome. We're covering some World Team League here as it's Ryong versus DNS up first. We're just about to dive on into this, kicking this off, getting this going, and we will be truly, fully, completely underways in just a couple of moments. Bam 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 da 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 bam. We need WSL to replace GSL. I mean, the Chinese leagues really wanted to do a lot of offline stuff in the past couple of years. A lot of their plans got slowed down after COVID and stuff. Who knows? There may still be more GSL. I don't think we'll know anything about anything until Esports World Cup is done. As we do have bottom left DNS, top right Ryung, TVP, as I've mentioned a couple times over to kickstart the action today. DNS is in the red, representing Berserker Esports. Again, from Vitality, we have Ryung. And we get into this to see what exactly lies in store for us. Slowly with a 72-month, 6-year resub as well. Thank you so much. As we just get a rolling. Refinery coming up. CC coming through. We get underway for a couple of moments. What's up, SL Tech coming in for the 7-month resub as well. Good to see you. Thank you so much for dropping a sub in today. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 7. As we just move our probe out onto the map. Are we in good quality here? Let's just guarantee it's 1080. I don't know why I'm on the YouTube. I keep going to the YouTube even though the YouTube almost always has issues. The moment the YouTube lags it down, I'm just going to instantly open the Twitch feed though, because I think that's generally a good fix. Generally I do like the YouTube because sometimes we can pause it and we can go back a little bit and stuff like that. So there's a couple of things we can look at. Is yo, Montian, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Going out to Funny Colors got hacked. Thank you so much for gifted. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for supporting the stream. Hope you're doing great today. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Obviously, it's been a little bit of a weird one yesterday. It was GSL Finals, so we weren't live yesterday. Day to it was actually, so it's Ellie's birthday tomorrow. So yesterday we went to a little birthday meetup with her, with Ellie, her 2 brothers, one of her sisters, and her mom, and one of their half brothers as well. So she was having the time of her life yesterday, running around stupid, fighting, tussling. She just had the time of her life, so that's why I was up to yesterday. Helen's pretty ill, so been trying to look after Helen. She got the Home Story Cup flu. Only I don't know if it's even the Home Story Cup flu. She's just feeling pretty rough, so kind of hoping that she's back on her feet as well soon, because it's like Home Story Cup was like a week ago, man. We shouldn't be having Home Story Cup flu now. So yeah. Anyways, that was one idea I was busy with yesterday. Hope you guys are having a fun weekend too. Like I say, some WTL action to round out this week of StarCraft 2. As the Reaper showed up, put some damage onto that pylon, and now we got an Adept or 2 starting to move forward a little bit. So I was about to say, that came out of nowhere, but they just turned the music on, so we are going to get some game music here. It's a little bit loud all of a sudden though, isn't it? Anyways, I'm sure we'll sort that out in the next few moments as the Adept comes through, grabs the Reaper. Obviously, nabbing a Reaper kill is always a nice little bonus. Always good to be able to get some damage done on that. You know, removing the Reaper is just going to limit what Ryung can see, a little bit further scouting. Sometimes some poking in prods that can gather not just information, but, you know, grab a probe or so as well. Music's not loud at all. Well, it was loud to me because it came out of nowhere, I guess, but it shouldn't be too loud because I don't have typically loud sounds in general, so. Alright, well, +1 attack. Stimpack continue to build. Ryung is well on his way to his bio setup here on Dynasty. Interesting first map as well. You play Dynasty, this map with that in-base gold, and that already kind of opens up the question marks of, like, how the hell is this going to go down? What the hell are we going to get up to? Like, what is the goal? What is the plan here? Your Adepts move forward, and they're going to get in for an SCV. Make it 2. Double SCV kill. Nice little grab. And get one more as well. That's the problem with taking this gold base. It is abusable. And DNS put in some work early to make sure he can abuse it as much as possible. Wants to get as much out of this as he can. As the Cyclone locks on one more time, one more Adept will fall. A few Phoenix still hanging out just on the side of the main base, and they will be looking for their opportunity to maybe make a little bit of a step forward as well. As Stimpack, Combat Shield, +1 attack, all of this continues into play. Stopwatch still building. The Robobay coming down from DNS. Immortal coming out. A few Phoenix. Are actually going to take some more damage. Marines get there. Phoenix taking some shots. Cyclone locks on, tank fires, Adept's taking a whole bunch of damage. As you see, the Phoenix going to make their way up the right-hand side, aiming for this main base where there's going to be a couple of SCVs up for grabs. Marines get over there and they do push the Phoenix away. And as we continue into that Stim Combat +1, all those upgrades are going to give Ryung good timings in this game and good opportunities to maybe move forwards and to really get something done about this. So working on that. Phoenix coming in again there, just going to grab a Marine. The rest of the Marines going to come steering across. The Phoenix get pushed away. Combat Shield is about to be done as our Phoenix will go once again onto a Medevac and just get a few more shots off. Push that back once more. Obviously, if you can keep these Medevacs back, the more you can do that, the better off you're typically going to be in these scenarios as well. Keep your opponent away from these positions and you will benefit as the Marines continue to make some moves. And the Phoenix are still absolutely holding their own in the middle of the map, so finding themselves quite a bit of value here. Love to see that. Ourselves the Phoenix coming up once again as our Twilight Council Forge, couple of probes, all continuing to come on and around. Bio heading down to the bottom right-hand side. Join up together. Yeah, Colossus, another Zell continues to come into play. We keep this coming. A little bit of Bio will once again make a move forward as we do get Colossus there. We're just going to fire some shots. Medevacs are going to load up. We're going to pull away. Marines get there immediately. Phoenix will be taking damage. Obviously, Ryung trying to push into position, but DNS has done a great job of just slowing him down, chipping away at him, dropping the natural, which goes into the main, though, is brutal. It's going to find the Forge and the Twilight Council back-to-back. That's a huge catch from Ryung as DNS has to kind of deal with this on the fly. Obviously, delayed further upgrades. No charge as well is so sad, because Zealots are really the one thing you want to start adding into this army, and them having charge just makes them so much more effective. That goes without saying, right? As the Bio still moving around a little bit into the center. A couple of Marines unloading from the Medevac as well. Actually, more Bio going to start heading across to the upper right-hand side. It's going to go join back up over here once again. Ryung gathers everything together. A few more Phoenix coming up. Sentries building, Adepts, Colossus, Immortal, and Zealots. Say just a little bit of everything for the moment. Yo, Twastat, how you doing on the 4-year resub? Coming in with the Prime. Thank you so much for 4 years, mate. Hope you're doing great. Thank you for continuing to support the channel and StarCraft too. Appreciate it. Why is the stream quality so bad? It's just because I'm casting off the clean feed. We're not allowed in game for World Team League, so we just have to cast off the clean feed. This is literally the best quality I can get this event in, unless it does look a little bit blurrier to me than it does usually. I'm not sure if the quality's a bit down a day or something, but yeah, it's simply that, and there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. I appreciate it doesn't look. I mean, I can check the Twitch stream, but I don't imagine the Twitch stream is going to be any better because usually it's the same feed. So. Fire continues to the south, where we are going to see Pylon getting picked off. +1 attack, +1 armor, both coming through. Of course, that initial upgrade being denied on the Forge was very sad. We now make our way toward the next step of this. Going to grab one Marine, gonna go for another, make it a double kill. Very nicely done, as you still have Ghosts, Marines, Command Center continuing up, +2, +1 coming in as well. We actually have these Phoenix still trying to jostle with anything coming across the map. Gotta babysit them a little bit. The last thing you want is those Phoenix to be dying, because they really still are very useful units. So, gotta try and babysit those Phoenix at least a teeny tiny amount. Just make sure that they don't get too caught up in anything. But yeah, honestly, he's doing a pretty good job. I still like how DNS is playing this game. The one moment it slipped was when he let that Forge and Twilight Council be taken out. That was very sad. Because otherwise, I do genuinely feel as though DNS is playing a pretty darn solid game. Let's see if he can make something happen in the bigger fights. He's trying to just sat defensively, holding the gold base on the other side, which means he gets access to a rich Vespian gas. Also means the gold minerals are not harassable from the outward side as a Terran plays, so it makes it much tougher for the Terran to do something about this base. It has to be much more of a straight-up push onto the location rather than a bit of a harassment squad that can hit behind the mineral line and becomes awkward for the Protoss to defend, so it's a little bit of what we see there. Let's just see that bio. Vikings, Medivacs joining up again. Ghost 2. Few SCVs go down as... Yeah, that's actually cute. The minerals have mined out, so the Zealots have free access. Easy peasy. Straight in they go. 5 SCVs. Don't even need a Warp Prison to do that one. And that's a nice little catch from DNS, who... To me, DNS is the sort of player who plays kind of akin to, if I had to kind of talk about someone we cast more frequently on the channel nowadays, Classic. Where once he gets to a certain point of comfort, he's going to be very happy to just add Stargates, add the Fleet Beacon, add the tech, and go into that Sky Toss setup. To me, that is DNS in a nutshell. It always has been. Maybe more so in PvZ, but I can imagine that playstyle kind of leaks through to PvT. Right now, still working on that Disruptor camp, but like I say, I can 100% imagine a world where we do see a DNS, you know, kind of teching further in this game, happy to move into the later stages. Unfortunately, did lose a lot of his Phoenix here, so his control in the sky has just diminished quite heavily. The Prism across the map warps in some Zealots that will try and find location on a base, but it is a planetary, and I'm not sure that number of Zealots is really going to find too much. I'd love to see the production tab again, see what's building. We're watching the unit tab quite frequently right now, as we do see DNS taking a little bit of a fight to chase this away. Stalker's doing a great job. The Vikings on this kind of weird position where they're kind of over the ledge. Usually that's good for Vikings, but there's obviously just ground where the Stalkers are at, so they're able to shoot the Vikings as they try and come back around the corner with the rest of the army, and that's making it a little bit of an intriguing engagement thus far. Huge warp into the main base. Zealots en masse just going to go straight into the main. Well, that's amazing to have, especially as you're applying this kind of pressure, and if you can start shutting down reinforcements, that is amazing too. The Vikings are still yet to really keep on connecting with the Colossus. We're down to 2 Colossus. It's not like they've been useless. It's just, it feels like the Stalkers have done such a good job of staying active as well as we are getting more done. Engineering Bay here in trouble too. +3 attack upgrade most likely will be denied. Don't see us saving this one. There goes the Engineering Bay. There goes the attack upgrade. A few Vikings still trying to put some work in. Apparently we've lost 2 Engineering Bays in the game now, so that's why Ryung is going to be stuck on 2-1 upgrades, and that could affect some of the larger fights as well the further down the line we go. Up another scan out, and we do have our Medivacs once more boosting out over through the center to the left-hand side. Away they go to try and make something happen. A Zealot! What are we going to do? Wonder underneath those Medivacs. Just keep on moving. The rest of the Stalkers coming up as well. Get our bio upgrades, or bio units, sorry. Still gathering together here. Oh, that's going to be a good pushback from DNS. DNS is actually getting comfortable to go out on the map. 8 Disruptors currently into his name. There is an additional Stargate coming up. Like I said, would not have been surprised to have seen that kind of come in earlier even, but I guess some of the larger fights kind of broke out just around the time where you might have considered it anyway. It's definitely not as fast as what Classic would have done, but like I say, I still don't feel like he's afraid of this kind of concept. As the Disruptor Force sits in here as well. Missile turret coming up, +3/+2 on the way. DTs get caught immediately, so nothing good comes of that. Nice to have the DTs though, even if the first, couple aren't great. Not to be discouraged from using them again in the future, because DTs are constantly a great threat. They constantly require multiple things to be able to be, dealt with properly. So I'd say that's almost always a good thing to have in the army. Once you've got that Dark Shrine up, you can just add the DTs whenever you feel like there might be a moment. Better fight from Ryung, where it's a lot of kiting being done from the very start. The Colossus might not live through this one, as it is going to go down, so the Vikings now don't have as much of a role to play. So you'll see a couple more bio units still pressing forwards, but the Disruptor says no. Trying to push that back, jumping onto this pylon as well. We got the advanced ballistics coming through as well. FPS has just dropped a little bit there. I wonder if that's why one of the Yobs left, because they felt it might have been them. Either way, right now we have Ryung and DNS still clashing up towards the top side. Stalker's blink, and Medevac goes down. Good moves as we see the Zealots continuing to play the chasing game. That Bio Ghost army is still being hunted a little bit at the moment. A couple more EMPs coming down. Zealot Stalker gets splashed across once more. DNS's army's weakness at the moment is also the fact that he's obviously kind of just playing kind of Stalker, Disruptor, a few Zealots as well. Over time, this army becomes worse at kind of straight up fights unless the Disruptors can do a lot. But what this army is meant to do is the Disruptors are so good at dictating where and where you cannot go as the Terran player, but then the Disruptors really dictate what sort of fights happen, and it gives you a lot of moments where the Terran player has to back away, and the Protoss units can get a lot of free damage done in that time. Let's see if that works here. Multiple Disruptors going off at once, as DNS is, honestly, I feel like doing okay. He's going to get some good Disruptor shots down to the south now as well. The problem is he doesn't have the Zealots to just really turn and fight kind of the cleanup on this, and his group of units on the top maybe should have backed away with the units on the bottom backing away at the same time. But yeah, DNS re-engages because he does still have good numbers overall. I was going to say, I feel like the way it went, it shouldn't be DNS that's really getting chased down right now. And it is Ryung as DNS looking to give Berserker a 1-0 lead in this best of 7. The Bio will hold atop the ramp for the moment. DNS fires another Disruptor shot through, trying to find a little extra at this point in time. Just Stalker still pressing through. A couple of Zealots getting to the front lines as well. Obviously, this is the point where if the Pros can just keep enough Warpins coming, it can be very difficult for the Terran. So we're going to go camping out on our Planetary Fortress as a way to try and survive here, make life just a little bit easier for ourselves. The Disruptor shot, that's going to be another Mule going down. Another Disruptor shot hits the Orbital Command. DTs are going huge on this gold base as well. They have Blink. Not sure, but obviously Blink would be nice to blink away. They do have Blink. Maybe they blinked in already. Wow. I mean, DNS still absolutely in a commanding lead then, following up all of this as he now looks to just kind of regroup and go again. He's already maxed, so he doesn't need to even wait that long. It's just kind of fighting into these defensive positions. Disruptor shot is great once more, though. Ryung struggling heavily. And it does really look as though DNS is taking home game 1 of this best of 7 for Berserker. Is very convincing previously already, and this is just icing on the cake. As the Planetary Fortress dies, you lose this space, you likely lose the bottom right. And Ryung has to stretch it out a little bit, and it is going to be DNS to take game number 1 of this BO7 Berserker. Off to a fun start. I told you guys this could be a fun series. Let me change over to the Twitch stream and just see if it's any better quality, guys. It might not be, but we can give it a go. Just in case it is, we may as well give it a shot, you know. Ryung will get map pick here for game number 2. Get this underway in a moment. See what he picks, see what he wants to play on, see what he feels like is his best shot at taking a second game in the series. It's taking a few moments for the map to pop up, guys, so hopefully not too long. Obviously, they did have a couple of obs having to leave games and stuff, so they might be trying to fix that as well at the same time. I'm sure it will not take us too long to continue onward. Oh, Crimson Core. That's a fun one. I'd imagine Ryung tries to take a bit more control early. That's a bit tougher to do on a map like Dynasty, where, especially when DNS doesn't take the gold base immediately as well. Again, Ryung did find that one open and that one very successful drop, but like I say, before that point, I felt like DNS had played a very good game. I felt like he was continuing to play, for the most part, a very good game as well. And I think we all kind of, the way the game played out sort of agreed with us on that one. So we continue to move over to Crimson Court for game number 2. Can DNS continue the upset? You've got Maru against Gung Fu up next, so Vitality are very likely getting a 2-0 in the next series. Sorry, Gung Fu, but like I say, I'll believe that's upset when I see it. So if DNS could start 2-0, and then maybe you get BattleB to steal a map, maybe you can get to an ace match. I don't think Berserk can win in an ace match, but hey, you know, all the fun of WTL is kind of believing in, you know, even just kind of doing the things to kind of get yourself in a position where maybe there's a chance, but even just getting to an ace is a point, right, in the league. That 1 point against a team like Vitality could be the difference between you not getting demoted for the next season and staying in the WTL Code S. So, a lot to think on there. Bam, bam, ba-dam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 ba-da-da-da, bam, bam. Just waiting on our game number 2. As though we're good to go. I was going to say, we had the map for a little bit. We shouldn't really be too long. The players kind of sat there looking pretty ready as well. And it looks as though we are indeed good to begin. Crimson Court for map number 2. Ryung is in the upper right. DNS is in the lower left. DNS still rocking the red. Ryung and the blue. And looking to get ourselves all started up in this game number 2. Like I say, it's just a best of 2 as well. So this is the last map these two will play in this series. Does not go to a third game if Ryung goes 1-1. The WTL format is a bunch of best of 2s that make up a full best of 7 series between the teams. Yeah, that's the last map that these two play. Then we move on to that Maru, Gung Fu, Banda, whatever the score is in the overall best of 7. Double gas from Ryung, already kind of towards that more aggressive style of life. So, already seeing a couple things that, you know, we may have just expected from the very beginning. Like I said, I don't think it's too surprising to see Ryung playing with a little bit of aggro in mind. And double deck gas doesn't even need to be that aggressive from the very get-go. A lot of the time you take double gas, pull out of gas after the factory, and still end up with a pretty quick expansion. So, it's not like you're going to be completely committed to trying to deal damage or anything along those lines. As a probe, we'll keep on nibbling at the SCV, and we drop down a factory in the main base as well. Cybercore and Nexus both coming up. Our probe still nibbling, SCV still taking damage. The probe will chase our SCV out of here for now. The way it goes is the probe going to come back over and nibble at this SCV too. And the Reaper is going to be here to play cleanup. Wow, we ran away a bit too soon. Man, just the little things. You know, those are little mistakes. That's really a non-issue. But it's kind of a little bit shown on the mentality of Ryung, right? Like, you know Ryung is good enough to not make those mistakes. You know Ryung is not really, you know, meant to be in that kind of a scenario. Okay, we're going to be popping up in just a moment. Still got ourselves Cyclone on the way out. Reactor building as well. Reaper hops into the main base. Stork's gonna fire. Reaper gets pushed away. Just seeing that Adept's still coming about. Reaper is gonna dodge around it. And the Reaper will be able to stay out on the map for a little bit longer now as our Cyclone continues through. CC still setting up. Tech Lab, Starport continuing on in as well. Twilight Council also in production. Bringing a lot of this up right now. The The blink on the way from DNS is obviously a step away from that Stargate play in the last game as well. Was very comfortable with the Phoenix, put him in a good spot, gave him a good setup, so was able to do a lot with that. See our pylon dropping down here. Look coming up, Banshee on the way. Extra Marines coming about as well. Let's have again blink, couple extra gates, all the good stuff on the way through. Robo facility building up also. With the Banshee and tanks, obviously you have potential for a very aggressive push. Never mind just the Banshee harass, but then there can be a straight up push, which is just very powerful. That can come across the map as well, so that's also going to be something of an option. As our Cyclone locks onto the Adept here, looking to get rid of that easily. A few Marines coming in behind it, and that Adept will fall fairly swiftly. As the Stalkers may actually catch this Banshee just before Cloak is done, but it's actually up on the high ground, obviously behind the rocks as well, so Stalkers will not get that. I'm just going to see our blink and our Nexus continue to come through. A couple of Marines still on the way. As we continue to build into tank Banshee, like I say, the question is how aggressive is this push going to be? Banshee cloaks up in the main base, and this from DNS is going to be a problem as the Banshee moves forwards. Gonna blink to get underneath it, try and threaten it off. Observer is out in the middle of the map, and that's the problem. Observer just is not where it needs to be currently. Sit there, a few Marines going down, tank's gonna be turning. Actually gonna get that tank sieging. Cyclone pushing forward as well. Whoa, big shot. Stalker dies. That was actually a pretty huge connection, so it's a big step in the right direction as, again, the Banshee, tank, Marine force all continue to build up here. Again, the position is Ryung. This is definitely a little bit more of what I wanted to see from Ryung, given the way we're starting out, right? This kind of idea of just a bit more aggro, kind of taking the game into your control early, because that's what he wasn't really able to do last time. And obviously in a long game, DNS looked pretty decent. The Immortal here going to try and get in range of the tank, but will go down before it gets the kill. We will now blink just to try and take the tanks down. We will get both of them. The Banshee's still firing. Does DNS have a breakout here? Is this good enough? Obviously, the Banshee's still in the sky. The Stalkers need to be careful. Currently running the hell away from that. There's a few units left, including the bunker, which is obviously one of the more stalwart parts of this push at this point. Banshees actually do get a Stalker or two that start to recall. Just no detection on that group of units, unfortunately. Our model coming across as well. And then we are going to finish that bunker up. A few more Stalkers continue to warp in. Getting a clean up for now. We still have two Banshees out over the far right hand side of the map. Robo Bay and Forge continue to produce. Probes going down again, the +1, stim back, combat shield, all of that being built on in. So Ryung gets the follow-up going. DNS held on to the third base. Robobay now coming online, so it's obviously going to be without Splash for a little bit. Maybe even the first little bit of this bio-stim attack is going to come without Splash being available for the Protoss, which is obviously fairly scary. Extra gates all coming up. Again, the +1, Colossus coming on in. Now Hallucination is going to go to the top left-hand side as well. Just scan up once again here. Yo, what's up? Yes, username available. Thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate subs today, guys. We've had a few flowing through. It's lovely to see. Thank you very much. Is that Lio? Might just be a little bit too much for this army. Tanks getting siege as well. Super Battery puts in some work. We got Stalkers on a high ground. First Colossus shows up. It's going to have no range, remember, so it's going to be an absolute struggle to get anything in reach of this Colossus in reach of anything without it just dying. DNS attempting that fourth base to the southern side of the map as well, but I mean, this base alone is in trouble. Marauders are just going to chip through it, as we are going to be forcing the fight, and that's exactly what you want here as Ryung. Force this to happen because you've got the tanks to really protect the position. You've got a +1 attack upgrade lead. The Zealots are the only issue right now, and they're starting on top of tanks. Can we actually clean up these Zealots before they cause too much trouble? We're going to kill one siege tank, only the one though. Zealots Colossus will continue to move about just for the moment as we have the attempted cleanup. Like I said, DNS is going to maybe get there, but even if he does, it's been so expensive, it's taken so long. Do we even see this at the end of the day as a victory still? Probably not. I feel like DNS's army is really on the edge of just falling apart. We now got a Colossus that's very low HP as well, which is going to be an issue. You know, there's just one more thing that can get punished is DNS get a few units on the chase. But Ryung comes out of this with a supply lead. Okay, I guess the upgrade lead is being cut down now as Ryung did not go past the +1, right? So DNS starting +2 will put him at an advantage there eventually. Of course, that's, again, in the future, but not right now. The right now is the problem. Can we survive 2 minutes to +2? Well, great. Can we get that? You know, do we have 2 minutes though? Yeah, that's the big question mark here. Cancelled the second Ghost Academy. Ryung fixes that mistake if you just caught it in the production tab. Just start an armory instead so he can start his own +2 upgrades, which makes a lot of sense. So we'll take a little bit of a spot on everything here as well. What's up, Hero Marine? Welcome everyone from Gabe's stream. Thanks so much to the raid as we are here with World Team League action. DNS took the first game on Dynasty against Ryung to set this best of 7 off between Berserk Esports and Vitality in his favor. So DNS up 1-0 with some solid Phoenix defense macro play on Dynasty. Game 2's been a bit rougher. Ryung took control early, Banshee tank Marine push, and just kind of did enough to kind of keep himself in an advantage, which is where we're at now. Ryung has just finished up a lot of his bio upgrades, and DNS is very much so just building whatever splash he can to try and get a defense going, because at any moment, we're kind of expecting this Terran army to show up and, you know, make a push like this. DNS is going to be active and jumping on top of it, though. We are going to see the tanks are not targeting down the Colossus either. A couple of Vikings here may be able to start clearing up. Colossus lasting a very long time. All three of them still alive for so long. Unfortunately, DNS just doesn't quite have the numbers, even with this taking so long to be cleaned up. The Colossus getting so many shots off, it just did not matter in the end. And that is going to be us pretty much getting into a 1-1 situation. Again, this first best of 2. Up next, by the way, Maru versus Gung Fu Banda. And then we have, on top of that, the Solo versus Battle Bee matchup. So, as I was saying earlier, Vitality are heavy favorites, but there's definitely potential for upsets within this series, like a map to go astray here or there. So, that's what we're kind of cheering for, and definitely start off that way with DNS grabbing the first against Ryung. To be fair, in my eyes, this was probably the closest matchup in the series, this first one. Now, you look at the mini-map and you just realize the control that Ryung has, right? He's just got so many bases available to him. He's got so much setup. And that's the problem for DNS. Just Ryung is so well set up that it's going to crash the stream. Okay, it comes back. Yeah, it's just such a good setup. It's so strong a situation. DNS needs to take a very good defense while maybe also doing damage across the map, but it's tough to imagine he finds the comfort to find a good defense while also getting, you know, any sort of damage across the map. That's going to be the issue. 3 more CCs coming up as well. Ryung just says, cool, I'm ahead. Let's get further ahead. If I get these CCs now, they will just benefit me for the rest of the game in whichever way I need them. So you're actually going to see a DNS kind of forcing the fight here on this forward army of Ryung. As soon as the Colossus goes down, those splash damage gone, and this bio army is left to its own devices, able to target down just all of the Zealots. A new Colossus shows up. I just don't think one Colossus is making the, you know, changing the story, right? It's not telling any different of a tale here. As these Marauders, a few of them are getting rid of the super battery, so eventually we'll have easier access through these units. And it does look as though Ryong is putting his stamp on game 2 to call this 1-1. So we're going to be all tied up 1-1 in this best of 2. And that is going to be the end of Ryong versus DNS, because in World Team League we play 2 maps between each player, and that adds into the overall best of 7 in the league. So we are going to go into Maru versus Gung Fu Banda next. Because it was 1-1 at the start though, Maru can't just straight up win the series by winning this. Obviously, at the very least, we get into Solo versus Battleby with something to play for, outside of just the additional prize money for every map won. So that's where we are at with Maru versus Gung Fu Banda. Terran versus Protoss action looking to come up next. So we'll get that ready to go, guys. We are going to take a quick BRB. We'll be back in a few. For Maru Gung Fu Banda, Terran versus Protoss, like I say, we'll be back in just a couple for more StarCraft. Looks like they're wasting no time getting the series going, though, so we can get ready for Maru Gung Fu Banda immediately. These guys are very ready to play. Amphion going to be the opening map here for more Terran versus Protoss in this series. Good day for Terrans in WTL. You got Terran in every matchup in this first series. Then we move into Weibo versus MYGAG. That one will not have as many Terrans. This one's a very Protoss heavy series. Second series today will be Strange versus Su, Cyan versus Yeshi, and Coffee versus Hero. It's actually a pretty fun set of matches, I think. That'll be our second best 7 today. Now working our way through this one. 1-1, all tied up between Vitality and Berserker. Can Gung Fu Banda pull out some tricks and some magic to take down our GSL finalist? In the top left, our blue Terran player, Maru. Bottom left, red Protoss from Berserker is Gung Fu Banda. We get this best of 2 underway. Like I say, no time wasted getting into this one. They were ready to begin. So we go. Let's hope our second match is as entertaining as the first, because Ryong DNS was genuinely a pretty good showing. It was a very fun matchup, a good bit of back and forth, a very enjoyable series there. Just gonna have our gateway coming up, our probe on the way, SCV coming up as well. I'm doing this map. I say this every time I load into it, because we don't see it all the time, but when we do see it, it's always pretty fun. There's still a lot of kind of options in terms of what sort of setup you take, what sort of setup you go for, and so on. Probe moves up, drops the Nexus down on the natural. I was going to say the stream is starting to drop some frames, but it is. I'm just going to now completely lag out. Hopefully just a quick lag out, we get back on track. I gotta say, this has probably been the worst season in a while for WTL's stream quality. It's been very off and on and stop and start, and laggy every now and then, just kind of randomly throughout the course of the season. And even right now, we're still gonna have kind of low frames and stuff, but yeah, apologies for that, guys. I can only work with the clean feed that they give me, you know. And as we do drop our Nexus onto the natural, so we get that Nexus underway. Command center building from Maru, factory and the reactor continuing in. The lag striking once more. How bad's it going to be? Hopefully it just clears up. Hopefully just a bad couple months of the connection or something over in China and they can get back on track for us. Because obviously we don't want to watch the stream buffer every 34 seconds. Axis will be finishing on the natural. The command center still coming up as well, so we get all of that underway. Bring that Twilight Council in again. A couple more probes. Stalker coming up. The Wolf Gate's coming through. Getting a lot of that started right now. That's our Marines. We'll continue out of our barracks. Our factory coming up. This Adept continues all the way up to the top side. One Hellion just going to go flanking. The Adept will take some shots. The Marines will continue over. Hitting that Adept a little bit. See our blink completing here in about a minute and a half, and that's when we can maybe see some extra action coming out of Gung Fu. If Maru hasn't had something to say by then, his medevac is on the way, so he will have some pressure very shortly. That medevac will provide you the chance to get across the map, put some damage out, try and catch your opponent out of position, and force some things as well. We also have the Liberator that's producing, right? So a Liberator to follow up, maybe take advantage of the units that get brought on incorrect locations because of the medevac. It's going to be the Widowmine drop initially, actually. So down we go into the main base. Going to spot the Twilight Council. Just confirm scouting. Hellion still poking around on the front. These Widowmines are going to go for at least a good few probes. 6 in total is obviously way more than you should be letting die to 2 Widowmines. And the worst part of it is the Widowmines just load back into the medevac and everything gets out alive. That is the absolute worst case scenario. Everything's out alive. Are you kidding me? That is not good. That is not good at all. Because that means now the Maru Widowmines can just come back in. At the same time, you're also going to have the Liberator trying to set up. Going to drop into the natural this time. Maru coming in from a creative direction. The probe pull is pretty immediate though this time from Gung Fu, so he does pull away this time at least, which is a much better setup. And the Widowmines will start to get cleared on out. Still one available. Blink about to be done, which will make this an even easier defense, but again, the damage has kind of been done. Maru's already very happy and content with what was found in the early stages. Already pushing through the center, a few more probes are dying, and we are going to be having this main army push from Maru, just trying to break through to the other side. Widowmine Liberator combo, finding those workers. Maybe not enough for Maru to get all the way to the other side just yet, but I can't imagine it's going to be too long until he feels comfortable making a move like that one. Stalkers coming about, our Marines and our tanks coming about. More tanks getting sieged up, Stalkers firing away. Gonna be seeing 18 probes going down, and this army in the middle may just about get cleaned up, but man, this Liberator is feasting. The workers going down are very difficult to contend with, and this does seem as though we're probably gonna have ourselves something close to a GG very shortly, as Maru puts himself in obviously an absolutely stellar position, absolutely great place to be in, looking fantastic in that regard. Stalk's going to fight, but obviously it's just not going to be good enough, and that is going to be GG called right then and there. And we are going to be wrapped up with Maru taking his first win against Gung Fu Banda. And there's best of 2, so Maru gets the first. Gungfu will get map pick to try and take a map number 2, so we'll see if he can find something. Like I say, going to be difficult to take a map off Maru, but at least, hey, on your own map pick, maybe it's the best possible chance. Maru did just dismantle him a little bit during that first game. Oceanborn going to be coming to game number 2. What are my watch hours? What do you mean by watch hours, slowly? Am I going to get a Twitch trophy? I've got no idea what's a Twitch trophy. Give me 1 sec, I'll open it up. Oh, Twitter doesn't... Can you link me on Discord? I literally can't open it on my PC. I'd say very unlikely. Knowing my luck with Twitch. Things. Maru! Takes a big breath as we load into game number 2. Kung Fu Panda. Set there, chillin'. I've never even heard of these statues. Okay, hang on. There's no way I have more than 50 million though, right? What is it for? Watch hours? Venue, yeah, I can tell that venue. But what's it? Is it for specifically watch hours? It doesn't say on the tweet. Let me, how do I even check that easily? $5 million watch hours? I don't even know how to check for your watch hours though. Am I crazy? Well, SV is gonna go chasing around a probe. I can only go back to 2017. Usually when I try and go back this far on the data as well, it just crashes. It just crashed. Okay, I can get it from the end of January. Watch hours. Minutes watched? I guess minutes watched divided by 60. I have like 12.5 million, I think. But I can't even go back all the way. Ah, 50 mil is wild, Jesus. I mean, there's no way I was going to be on 50 mil, right? Because if there's going to be about 300, I'm definitely not in the most, top 300 of streams watched over the course of Twitch. That'd be really wild. Alright, sorry guys, I got distracted. Blame slowly, take me off topic. I can still get there. If it's taken me, say realistically, like, so that's only until 2017. Say realistically, like, I have a couple million extra. Say I'm on 15 million. It's taken me, what? like 9 years to get to 15 million. It's literally gonna take me the rest of my life to get to 50. Or thereabouts, Jesus. We don't even stream as much anymore. My stream hours are down. We're screwed, no! I wonder what my watch hours were during... Okay, there's a bit of my job going on. You guys have got me interested now. My most watched hours in a month ever is 526,000, and that was peak COVID when literally no one had anything to do but watch StarCraft. And I streamed for like 2 weeks out of 4. As the Widowmines just killed Kung Fu Bander again, by the way, so this one's probably going to be Dunzoed. Kung Fu just it's so, isn't it wild? Like, obviously I know Mario kind of moves things well and kind of positions units nicely, but it's crazy how when you're playing these top guys, some of the basic things, such as just not dying to Widowmine, seems to fall apart. But I think it's just a credit to how good the guys are that they make basic basic drops like Widowmine drops just so successful. When, they're such a heavy favorite. It's kind of crazy. Can't believe that. Alright, a couple of auto turrets going down, a couple of probes getting picked off already. Our tank setting up, our marines coming through. Stimpak, combat shield, and +1 attack. Continue to build on in here as our medevac will sit in the top left-hand corner. Just having ourselves again the Colossus coming up, a few more probes coming in. Just bringing up whatever we can, wherever we can. As we have our Bioforce continue to get into place, Stimpak, combat shield +1, all of this coming through for the moment. Bioforce is pushing up here from Mario, moving across the map as we take position. Stimpak, combat shield, all coming in. We do have a push of Mario about to arrive. Tank's going to be there. Pylon will be going down, and that's just going to be GG's. I mean, you do damage like that, and oh, Kung Fu Banders. Camera is gone once again. That's 2 weeks in a row that I think Kung Fu's done the smash keyboard, smash desk exit on the WTL. I'm not on YouTube anymore, so we can't do the rewind. Yo, Ascalon, thank you so much for the 53-month resub. Appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. So, Mario puts Vitality up 3-1, and now we are going to be heading into Solo vs. Battle B, so that TVZ is coming up in just a few. Get that up and ready to roll. Here's Sola. Here is Battleby. As we get straight into this TVZ, man, they are taking no breaks today. Everyone's just ready to play some StarCraft 2, huh? Golden Aura map 1, rough one for Battleby. He's already playing kind of a Zergia map here as well. Alright, heading into Golden Aura. We got this ready to begin. There's going to be Solar in the top left, Battle Bee in the bottom right. Game number 5 of this series. Obviously, Solo wins this map, and it's all done. Vitality wins it. We play map 6 no matter what. Do get a barracks coming up on the high ground there. It's just going to get that into place. Get that underway. Let me set this off. Oh, I found something cool. Apparently, so I hit 10 million hours watched in